All right, first time here at the Gardens Casino in Hawaiian Gardens, California. It's about a 15-minute drive from the Long Beach airport. And right behind me here is, I think, their high stakes room. It's pretty nice looking. It's empty right now, but it's pretty. It looks pretty similar to Bobby's room or Ivy's room in Las Vegas. I'm currently on the list for their 5-5 game. The buy-in is 300 to 600, and their 5-10 game is 500 to 1500. So we'll see what I get called for first, and we'll go from there. All right, so that walk there is just coming into this little room here that they call the cell phone room. Pretty interesting. It's like right next to the restroom, and I guess it's just a little, kind of like a little cell for you to get on your phone privately if you need to. So I'm just closing up the session now. It's about 2:20 in the morning. Rough session to start. The players are pretty good here. I think the table draw definitely made it difficult, but it was a good test. It was a good test because I haven't played for a little while, but I still felt like I was, I can do well in these games, and I'm happy I stuck it out for the sake of, getting to where we're at now. It's better to be stuck 200, 202 exactly, instead of the 16 or 1700 at one point. And yeah, going to be here for the next few days in Long Beach, California, or Hawaiian Gardens, California. And I'm going to play the 175 tournament tomorrow, actually later today. Kicks off at noon. And then depending how that goes, we'll take it from there. And, it's good to know that the cash games are alive and well. Morning. It's Sunday, September 23rd. It's about 11:30 in the morning. I'm here in my hotel room at the La Quinta in Hawaiian Gardens. It's about a 15-minute walk from Hawaiian Gardens, out of maybe like a 5-minute drive. Just came from going downstairs to try to grab some breakfast, but I think I missed it by a little bit. I overslept. Anyways, there's the 175 tournament today at the Hawaiian Gardens.
This is the right place?
This is perfect. Thank you.
The one that they picked.
Change 39.
All right, we're at our first break here for the 175 buy-in tournament. It's actually a bounty tournament, so the buy-in is 175. You get 10K chips to start. There's an additional add-on for $50 to get an additional 7K chips. So everybody did that on the table. We all have started with 17,000. After the first 2 hours, been able to run it up to about 30K or so. We'll find out the total prize pool shortly. I think the buy-in cuts off at this particular level, level 4. And right behind me is this really interesting volcano. It's a beautiful day out here. I want to say it's in the mid-70s. I think that's probably the biggest downfall of playing poker is we're stuck in the casino all day. Not able to enjoy the lovely weather out here. But yeah, it's been going well so far. Nothing, really no interesting hands to report. I want to bring in a couple of hands at some point here, but flopped a set one time, chipped up a little bit there. Made a nice call with 2 pair on a 4-card flush board, and it was good. But other than that, just picking up little pots here and there. So that's the update for now, and right after, it's got another 10 minutes or so on this break, and then I'll jump back to you guys. All right. All right, we're over here sitting in a little area. There's like a waterfall behind me, with a monkey and a palm tree. Um, Sitting in a little area here between the poker side and the Asian game side. It's about 3:20 in the afternoon right now, which means if I'm sitting here, not in the tournament. Um, Two hands of interest to share with you all. Um, First hand, we're playing, the blinds are at 200, 400 with a 25 ante. Um, the hijacked limps for 400, and I'm on the button with 6 of hearts, 8 of spades, and I bump it up to 1600, and only the hijack calls. The effective stack size is about 25,000. I've got 35K in my stack. The flop comes king of clubs, 3 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds. He check calls my bet of 1K. Yeah, and then the turn comes an ace of clubs. It's either ace of clubs or ace of spades. Um, and he checks again, and I bet 4,200 this time. And again, he makes the call. The river is a jack of clubs. So yeah, the turn was the ace of spades because there's no clubs or no flush that makes it on the river. He checks yet again, and I jam it for 15K, and he doesn't think too long, and he makes the call. And of course, I'll lose that hand. He's got ace 10 of diamonds. I'll put him on a hand around there, maybe like a king X of diamonds. I thought I could get him off a one pair type hand, but unfortunately not. A couple hands later, I doubled up with ace king, clean run out. And then the last hand of note is the under the gun +2 makes it 2100. We're playing 300, 600 now with a 50 ante. Effective stack size is my stack. I've got about 25K. Under the gun +2 makes it 2100. I'm in the small blind, and I make it 5500. Thinks for a little bit, and he makes the call. Flop comes king, jack, deuce, rainbow. Continuation with a little bit of a down bet to 4,500. He doesn't think too long, and he jams it all in, and I call. Turns over king, jack for the 2 pair, and turn and river don't help. Get a 3 on the turn and a 5 on the river, and that's how I get knocked out. So that kind of wraps up the tournament. Yeah, tournaments are tough. I don't play too many of these, but I intend to play more going forward, and I'm primarily a cash game player, but there's obviously some good value in tournaments, and yeah, not too discouraged. I think that's just the nature of tournaments, and so we'll try to do a few more tournaments coming up. As for the rest of today, I've put my name up for the 5-5 and the 5-10 no limit games, and we'll take it from there. All right, just wrapping up a session here. It's 11:20. At roughly 3:20, so I'll put in a proper 8-hour session. It was a very rough one, I'd say. Started off decently well. Bought in for the game for 1,500. Ran it up to about 3K. Last couple hours were really rough, maybe more so even the last hour. I think I picked up a decent amount of holdings that were, I think, the right move to raise first in with those hands, and I probably opened between 9 and 12 of those hands in the last hour and a half, and I whiffed every single flop, and without any backdoor equity. So it's pretty hard to do, especially in a tough 5-10 game where there's a lot of aggression, people know what they're doing, and so if you don't connect and or find a way to navigate through the pots, it's really difficult to try to make money. So long story short, I was in the game for 1,500, ran it up to 3K, and I'm finishing the session cashing out 851. So down 649, which I think if you kind of look at the entire session, not too bad. I mean, obviously, it's always tough when the peak was plus 1,500 or so. So it's bit of a 2K downswing from that point. But if you look at kind of just losing $600 in a 5-10 game, that's pretty challenging lineup. I think it's not too bad in the overall. So that wraps up the session. I'm going to try to put in one more session tomorrow on Monday the 24th. That'll be my last day here in Long Beach or Hawaiian Gardens, California. And then we'll see if we can run it up tomorrow. All right. All right, so Monday, September 24th. I'm here visiting the Long Beach State campus today. Here with a couple folks just to take a look at the campus. And it's the first time here. It's a very beautiful campus. But yeah, from here I'm going to go back to the Hawaiian Gardens, and I'll be there shortly to put in another either a 5-5 or a 5-10 session. So I'll see you there. Back in the familiar Hawaiian Gardens property here. Sitting on one of the tables that's just next to that cell phone booth. I was going to try to hop in there, but there's someone in there right now. So I'm just sitting at a nearby table. Right behind me is that same high stakes room. There actually looks to be one table going on today on a Monday afternoon. Must be a regular game throughout the week. Got my name up for the 5-5 and the 5-10. Probably will lean more towards playing the 5-10. But we'll see what happens. And just closing up my session here, put in about 4 hours at the table. Yet another rough one. Not much to say other than I think Mondays are probably a pretty tough day to play at the Gardens Casino. I recognize a few players from the last 2 days, and just based on the way everybody was playing and how the table conversation was going, it sounded like just about 6 or 7 of the players were regulars here. So pretty tough to try to jump in that lineup as an outsider and playing in these games. Didn't run particularly well, didn't play that well. I was in the game today for $1,500, and I'll be cashing out about $550. So down $950 for today, and I think the total for the weekend was about probably around minus 1.7K. So I'll do the math on that once I kind of put everything together in this kind of 3-day weekend project here. And yeah, I mean, all in all, it was a good trip. It's the first time playing at the Gardens Casino. Definitely a super nice property. If I were to compare it to something in the Bay Area, the closest thing I would say is Casino Matrix. It's a pretty nice and modern looking property there. We'll definitely take this video there at one point. But yeah, just closing things out here in Southern California. Thanks for watching, and more to come.